Sure a conviction. What mentioned this fact, Nuremberg trial was ultimately criticized justice, the victorious justice, because they were tried, it is called the justice of the victorious. There was no trial, there was no justice in accordance with law. So we do not want to see that victorious justice, because how many claim themselves as the victorious party, and now they have come, they have tried to curb down their opposition by making the victorious justice. That will not be allowed in the soil of Bangladesh, so long we are just But in 1978, as a main just to ensure a conviction, the accused has been denied his basic human rights, basic feature of the acts, which would seriously impede the holding of fair and impartial trial as follows. The appointment of judges of this tribunal cannot be challenged on the ground of bias. It is ridiculous if the accused considered a judge to be biased, he cannot be allowed to challenge this fact. What are the judges they have appointed? Mr. My friend, and younger brother, this can say, a sitting judge. A sitting judge has been appointed as a judge of the tribunal. Under our constitution, he cannot be the chairman of a tribunal, because our constitution categorically stated that the judges of the Supreme Court, sitting judge, one will sit in the High Court position. So there is a violation of our constitution. But law says, the tribunal law so tribunal, that the constitution of the court cannot be challenged. This is the law. Then the provisions of the Evidence Act. It is the fundamentals of any trial, impartial trial, to ensure justice and accordance to law. There are set rules in the Evidence Act. The Evidence Act will not be allowed and in this tribunal at the time of trial. The criminal procedure is laid down in the procedure how the trial will continue, and what are the rights and what are the procedures for the protection of the accused. That will not be applied in this trial. The accused is unable to enforce or rely on his fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution. The very basis of our country, an independent sovereign state, the fundamental rights are incorporated in our Constitution, but it should not be invoked. Accused of the tribal, so-called accused, they will choose not be able to challenge their fundamental, say that these things has violated his fundamental rights. Then, as already is told, the judicial review has been denied. It is ridiculous. It cannot, if they want to do justice, it cannot be denied. That is also denied. The Act applies to work committed by one side in 1971. If they want the two sides, those who are responsible for the war crimes, both sides is right. But this government has enacted a law that is called Indemnity Act, in which the freedom fighters and others who committed the fire also committed war crimes will not be tried. And this is the law they have. Under this law they have wants to try the so-called freedom fighters. So international criminal tribunal 1993, under which the trial of war crimes is said to be prosecuted, is need to be amended according to modern human rights laws. Otherwise, in the modern world, it will be regarded as a mockery of justice, and that cannot be done in the soil of Bangladesh. And for that, we came to Bangladesh here to seek your help, to raise your voice about so-called trials by international tribunals, which has no connection with the war crime tribunals. As regards the fundamental rights, violation of fundamental rights, I try to short what they have done. By this time, by the so-called cadre, the Satu League and Jubilee, they are committing every day the violations of the human rights. And not only that, in the minority community, who are very favorable to the only ones, their properties are voted to grab their properties. Even I have this in the paper, they are now also occupying the graveyard of teachers. This is their fundamental rights in our country. And about the framework, freedom of press, I myself, and others, lawyers, pray the writers and the editor of the paper. What he has done, only thing is writing about anti-democratic activities of this country. He is writing about the atrocities which their cadres are doing. He is writing last of all, for which I my personal belief, his paper was banned and he was tortured inhumanly in police custody, despite the direction about the rapid court. He was publishing a news series, not the news reports, after the killings of BDR. That is a mysterious one. How the BDRs are allowed to kill our young officers, brilliant army officers, without any intervention by our army. Why they were giving amnesty immediately by when the dead bodies of our soldiers, of our young, brilliant officers are lying. So that is also a mysterious one. So Mahbub Hossaon was publishing the report, their report, what actually happened there. That is why we were arrested. So we have neither the fundamental rights, we have neither the freedom of speech, we have neither the freedom of press. So we need a voice from outside. And our Bengali people, those who are Bengali people here particularly, we want help from the people abroad, raising their voice from the undemocratic and activities of the government and the atrocities carving of the human rights of the land of Bangladesh, which we have obtained by sacrificing the lives of lots of Bengali people and violating the justice of our human rights. So Bangladesh will live, and we can assure you, so long we get your support from abroad, and so long we, the lawyers and other persons who live the nationalist force in the soil of Bangladesh, one, they will not be allowed to try to make a mockery or to try so-called war